as we jump into the second draft here, I think a lot of the same bans will remain, the Varus, the Rumble.
Yeah, should I just put in Rumble Varus? I guess I need to know where, like, which team's going to be banning
Probably
what.
HANJIN will be banning the Rumble and the Varus. But the Varus first. So, like, Varus now.
Varus now?
Yeah.
So that one is just a Varus. Come on, guys. Let's just get the Varus out of the way.
Oh, wait, no, they're, yeah.
It
should be BNK. Sorry, my bad. The new right of first selection has been messing with me. They did not find the Varus button.
They haven't found any button, in fact. Maybe it's Garen. Garen! Varus.
Okay, it was Varus. So they were just like, well, we'll just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Wow, look at how quickly BNK found the Rumble button.
A little bit
They
faster.
understood the whole thing.
HANJIN were just using the time to discuss strategy.
Well, Caitlyn going to be taken away. An interesting maneuver. As now Orianna needs to be banned. Karma needs to be banned.
Okay. Now we're looking at a little bit more flexibility. These are the main ones. The Karma should be banned by BNK. I think you have to assume.
Would expect so.
The Ezreal is gone, but Karma is still very powerful. There's no Jhin Karma either, so it could go through the draft, but I think it will be banned.
Yeah, it's only really Sivir Karma that's left. And you're probably going to be playing into Lucian Milio if that's the case. Lee Sin still going to be taken away. As the one that is going to miss out is either Karma or the Zaahen from the last series. Maybe the Zaahen does slip through. I think Karma is still just that little bit too strong.
Yeah, it's, HANJIN BrioN do have first pick, so they can't get the Lucian plus Milio combo. And maybe BNK are hoping they're going to respond with that. So I was thinking maybe they leave the Zaahen up. I think ban Karma and then go Lucian into it.
Yeah, I think the first pick Karma feels a lot better now, though, with the Zaahen banned, because you feel like you can pick Sivir without too much of an issue.
Yeah, and you also get to just say no to Lucian by mantra queuing towards him repeatedly.
Yeah.
If he is going to be picked into it, so...
And the broadcast seems to agree with us, as we are hovering over Namgung right now. So, can I wait a second? Instead,
however,
this is what we were talking about. The Lucian priority going to be pretty high in this series. And there it is, locked away already. But now they're going to be staring down the barrel of a potential Sivir Karma right now. Or Ashe Seraphine, I guess.
I was going to say, do we trust Taeyun to pick away Milio and play like Aphelios or Jinx in this situation? Because
that'd be kind of crazy.
It is... Really, I mean, those are your two options. Otherwise, going for the Ashe Seraphine lane. The Karma Sivir could have been an answer. Well, they're not going to opt into that here, as this is pretty volatile, this lane matchup. If you don't hit your roots and your poke isn't doing enough damage as Kellin on the Seraphine, then you actually can lose this lane to Lucian. So he does a lot of damage very quickly. But it is one of those lanes that feels very playable into the Lucian. It's not going to be Lucian just pushing waves into your turret and then a level 3 gank comes down and,
Yeah. Ooh, Trundle. That's a bit of fun.
Trundle is an interesting one, just right out the gate with no information about Raptor's pick. I mean, I think they're saying, like, you're probably going to pick Xin.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And obviously, Xin does pair very well with the Seraphine, as he just does like to have an enchanter to keep him alive and to give him more stats and stuff like that. But kind of reading it, but it can come back to bite you. Like, what if it's Raptors Kha'Zix? Something like that. Instead, it's going to be a Vi that they're considering. That one will be locked away for Raptor.
I think this is a great adaptation once you see the Trundle, because Vi works really well with Ashe because of the synergy with Arrow. Yep. And then obviously you can layer then on top of that the Encore. So a lot of great single target setup, or potentially multi-target, depending on how the Encore goes. But the main freebie is going to be that single. You don't even need the Encore. It could just be a root follow-up, for example, from Kellin.
Absolutely. I mean, if they're there in the bottom lane, the Vi will be able to make stuff happen, even with just a Volt Breaker. As the Jace is going to be taken away here, as we are looking to get rid of solo laners for now.
Okay, the Vayne ban, alluding to a matchup that casting wants. He does not want to play into the Vayne, but the Gnar won't be it because that's already gone. And the Renekton, same situation. So I am curious what he's got planned here.
Maybe casting just wants to play Sion.
Could be. I think that's the more likely outcome. If they can pick it away as well, because Sion can be a problem for Lucian compositions.
Well, not when there's a Trundle. So I don't think they need to worry about BNK.
That is true.
Picking it.
So, I mean, that also solves, not only does it stop the Xin, but it does, I mean, that's a really good point you raised. It does stop the Sion as an answer.
Is it just a Gwen ban here to really make sure that the Sion is comfortable?
I think if we see that, we will definitely know what the intent is.
Yeah, you almost definitely get it as, never mind, the Akali going to be taken away instead. VicLa not allowed to play that one.
So Ahri is an option here for VicLa if he wants to keep the synergy with this Vi. Took away the Annie already. This is a pick that works incredibly well with Vi and also the Seraphine. It goes back into the single target pick. And it's so, like, if you're playing Lucian, you always want to be pushing forward. You always want to be maximizing your damage in those big bursty trades, but it means you got to dash in, you got to reach for those champions, and that's when you get caught by all of this single target. So it's going to make the game incredibly tough for Teddy to play this composition here that BNK have put together.
Yeah, Ambessa was nerfed on this patch, so her ulti takes a little while longer to go off. We'll see whether that is going to be an issue for Clear or not in this game.
If there's a lot of setup for it, I don't think it probably will.
Well, this is the thing. You've got cease and desist, arrow, beat drop, encore, everything like that. I think you will be probably hitting it. As Aurora going to be locked in, and that is a Nidalee.
Nidalee answer to the Ambessa is an interesting one.
Wasn't expecting that one, although you can just pounce out of the way of the ulti.
He could play another range top as well that we've seen so much of, like the Tristana, but
Twist of Fate.
Zaahen, this is such a bulky composition here for HANJIN BRION. It's got so much burst as well. Yeah, it's like one of your classic Aatrox comps, except they got new Aatrox.
Yeah.
He's the other double A champion.
The new and improved Aatrox.
And the Ahri is just going to be the answer here, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. BNK have pick the comp.
Yes, they do.
It's like
they're like an Elise away from like perfect pick comp.
If you hit one form of CC, you hit 5 forms of CC.
And I think that
and sometimes more.
HANJIN BRION are in a decent spot to not care about that because they have a Milio.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Also, the burst of this Aurora is so good. It also disrupts a lot of the follow-up in these melees because if they get slowed by the ultimate and then just focus down, there's a lot of burst damage to kill them. And Zaahen is going to often be flanking, and if you try to kill him, it's very difficult. He often will need to be killed twice, and there's a lot of counter engages here for HANJIN. Like, they get to punch back incredibly well. Absorb with the Milio, absorb the pressure with the Zaahen, Trundle pillar somebody. Once you go in, there is no going out. If you don't win that initial burst, if you don't kill that target instantly, if you fail or you fail to link the CC together for any reason, you're going to have a really tough time. I do think that it's a much easier comp to play, though, for BNK, like by a large margin. It's incredibly simple. Even if like 2 CC miss, like once the third one hits, you're like, okay, we hit the other 2, and we kill that guy.
Yeah, and at least this time around, VicLa is on comfort, Raptor is definitely on comfort, and this Ashe Seraphine lane has been very, very difficult to overcome, and they just had a phenomenal performance with that exact lane in the road to EWC, at least Taeyun having a brilliant Ashe performance. Let's get into it, game number 2. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, under the rift for the second game of this series. HANJIN BRION with a lot of momentum after just winning until they killed the Nexus in game number 1. If you're a Bro fan, it was the most cathartic thing that you've ever watched in the history of League of Legends. And if you're not a Bro fan, it was probably still pretty cathartic because they're just pretty easy to like.
Yeah, who dislikes Bro besides Digon?
And Chronicler.
Yeah.
But we fight
Bro anti.
You know, and that's mainly the reason why. Sorry, Cronny. You just didn't pass the Bro test.
Yeah.
All you had to do was Bro leave.
He couldn't handle it when they were sometimes too slow, you know. Yeah. Sometimes just, you know, farm and take dragons.
Patience was always his issue.
Yeah.
You know.
He was a bit of a jumpy guy. Couldn't sit still.
Just catching strays here on the broadcast. We missed you, Cronny. Hopefully you're watching, but it's a Bro series, so he's probably not. He would not waste time on this.
What would it take to make him a Bro leaver? Is it all the way to Worlds, or is it just like a road to MSI run where like they almost go to MSI? Is it an MSI qualification? What would it take? I do wonder to Brunvince him.
Oh, maybe just saying Brunvince more often is perhaps a really good trade from Teddy and Namgung could be a way to do it, but they did use the heal, and the BNK bottom lane did not. So a little bit of an advantage here for a follow-up salvo from the BNK guys.
Yeah, and this next trade is going to be really important.
What if Bro brought out their own signature bread? I feel like that would be how Chronicler would get into it.
Yeah, that would be true.
He was a huge fan of bread.
He did like bread a lot, and also chili for some reason.
Yeah.
He liked to eat chili with bread, in fact.
Yeah, and I think that's a relatively normal thing.
Yeah, no, it is pretty normal. He also liked to eat chili with a spoon. And he made it at home. As they're going for the all-in.
Yeah, Teddy looking for a bit of an angle here. Saving Wolf from that weird moment talking about
I had to get out. I had to get out. Thank you, Teddy. Man, these 80 carries just saving the day. Guma yesterday saving energy, and Teddy saving everyone in the world who's listening to this, including aliens in the future.
Millions of light years away.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for this broadcast to get to them, but one day they're going to love it. I do think that this comp for BNK extremely associate all these picks with these players, right? And this is a comp that is so simple to play, very aggressive to play. Mentioned VicLa's Ahri earlier when I was talking about the Anivia, right? Like, that's not a pick I go, oh, that's a VicLa champion. Ahri absolutely is.
By the way,
yes,
Mao did say something. He said, when does DK play?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Don't watch the VOD. Let's just put it that way. It's all right. Let's try and leave that in the past, as we do have Casting and Clear just fighting one another. So Clear's feeling pretty okay about this as he looks to try and get back towards his side of the lane.
Baiting.
Yeah, GIDEON moving up. And does Clear have enough dashes left remaining? That's the question. The flash after him from GIDEON, and that's first blood over to Casting.
GIDEON's playstyle is so punishing. It is... I don't know what to call it. Maybe the best word to use is incredibly opportunistic, but he finds these angles, and then he gets his teammates
I think
to set
it
him
is
up.
just opportunistic. I think it's the perfect word.
He's just suddenly like, okay, you didn't expect this gank, did you? But I set it up long ago, and I'm here for this. Casting is going to trick you, and you're dead. I mean, the camp in the jungle with the Nocturne was crazy as well, as we do have a heal.
Yeah, Kellin taking a lot of damage here, but now Teddy has to deal with Taeun. Throws out a fair bit of damage, but Fire Kick so good at denying a bunch of those autos.
Raptor's turn.
Yeah, Roma. Is he going to have to flash this Vault Breaker? The answer is no, because he made it very far underneath his turret. So he's going to be absolutely fine. No flash needed. Oh dear. This is actually very dangerous for this top side of the map. Casting now with his Hage put together. And with a 600 gold lead.
The Zaahen is not supposed to really win that hard early. But we've seen a few, including perfect Zaahens. Okay, hold up, level 6.
Yeah, and avoids so much of VicLa's damage here. The charm goes wide, and he throws down the ultimate. At least Roma does take back a fair bit of damage here from VicLa as well, even though he missed half of his buttons.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that was, if VicLa hits those buttons, it might have been disastrous for him. That's definitely not what he was looking for with the tempo ult there. As, you know, the Zaahen, we talked about it, it normally doesn't win lane early, but I think a lot of mastery of Zaahen is coming through with some of our top laners over the course of, you know, his release, right? Over the last few months, definitely starting to see a lot better Zaahen play, finding these angles. This time, obviously, very heavily assisted by his jungle, but now let's see what he can do with the lead, as he's not supposed to have it, but he does.
Yeah, certainly. Now GIDEON looking to grab a Rift Scuttler here. As we do have a wraparound from GIDEON, Raptor.
Oh,
an angle, but that would, yeah, Raptor round. Exactly right.
Sorry, I just sometimes, like, sometimes LCK commentators have, like, a response.
I mean, oftentimes, I think it's part of your job, honestly.
Yeah, we just have, like, we have to, like, acknowledge that, like, there are many Pogstate episodes and desks where something is said like this, and there's a pun opportunity. We all kind of look at each other and say, "Don't say it." And then, like,
wait, is that what you guys do?
Yeah.
Oh, because I normally just say it. Yeah, maybe that's part of. Maybe my wife is right.
I mean, what I mean to say is we attempt to not say it.
Yeah, maybe I should. There should be an inside voice and an outside voice. That's what I'm starting to learn. I don't know. Would I be me? I'm not sure. I'm having an identity crisis. As Teddy and Namgung, they're not. They are doing absolutely fine here. As Teddy going on forward, Taeun taking a fair bit of damage here, and Teddy keeping up the pressure. The volley does come back, though. Barrier going to be used here from Teddy. Keep him alive. Namgung taking the brunt of the damage as well. There is a fair bit of sustain here. There's the flash beat drop onto Teddy. He flashes away and the mega fire kick is going to be there. Namgung keeping his AD carry safe is now, oh, the flash over the vault breaker. That was so sick.
That was
crazy.
I thought he was doomed for sure.
I don't even know how that even happened. That's Mad Movie. Put that, just the flash in the Mad Movie. I love it. As, all right, VicLa smells blood in the water, flashes on forward, the fire kick is there, the flash away, and VicLa will be able to find the double. They made him work for it, but he picks it up in the end, and that may have put BNK back in this game.
Yeah, I think so. I was sorry to be concerned when he did take that turret aggro, but he ultimately does end up picking up 2 kills there on the bottom side, as Teddy and Namgung took the incredibly long journey away from the turret, and he came and swooped down and stopped them.
Yeah, big crash into the turret as well, so a lot of minions are also going to get denied.
He pings,
that full wave that was coming.
He pings twice, Roamer does, in the mid lane. They're very aware this is happening, but they're like, just can't go faster, and then they try to outplay, and the charm does connect here. If that misses, maybe an angle there for Teddy with the turret shot coming through, but it would have been very close. Either way, 2 kills go over, 4 stacks of Dark Seal, and VicLa is on the board.
Yeah, and Roamer also wasn't expecting VicLa to ult his way over there. And so sort of was a little bit slow on the prediction of where he was going to be as well. So didn't quite work out there. Still, I mean, he had to vacate the lane. There is a big lead here for VicLa, but it could have been larger as a bunch of those minions were taken back by Roamer in the play. Now, we've got Gideon setting himself up here for a potential engage on this bottom side as Teddy will take the arrow. And Raptor was lying in wait. There's a brilliant pillar to try and deny him. Gets the flash out as the culling was also involved. Not really doing too much of anything there at all, though, unfortunately for Teddy.
Feels really good if you can get that steal away of the Vi ult because it extends her engage range so much. So massive grab there by the pillar of Gideon. So we keep looking at this top lane matchup because Clear has ult ready and always there's an angle.
Yeah. Casting, just clearing these minions and happily holding on to this advantage, getting very close to item number 1.
Got a lot of cookies in inventory as well. It's going to be very difficult to punish him as Raptor is on the top side of the map, but a little bit too slow to get him. He's just going to take Krugs and then might look for a grub contest here. We'll see when Gideon is forced to smite. I don't believe he saw the Vi there actually with that Scryers. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, knows that he's not on the grubs right now. We'll take this scuttle. And yeah. Gideon, we know he loves some grubs.
And there is also just a lot of top lane pressure right now. And with VicLa taking all this damage, Roma should be able to make sure that they do have full priority on these grubs. So really nicely played. Possible Vi Ahri angle towards Roma here, but it is an Aurora. She is somewhat slippery.
Also has flash. A lot of pings on grubs, and including vision pings. But they don't have vision, and they're not looking for it as this could be... That was an aggressive rotation from Roamer.
Yeah, if there was a Raptor laying in wait, then it could have been a problem.
He's like, what if he's in there? Let me check. I'm like, I don't think you want to check. But he was fine, and it's not going to matter. But all 3 grubs go over, no contest whatsoever from Raptor, who was trying for that gank in the mid lane and did not come up with anything.
You can see in this bottom lane, Tayan has actually been able to utilize this early advantage that was built up by that initial play and has just continued to build. 500 gold, now the lead for the Ashe. And Teddy was really trying to put the screws in the early stages of the game, and that might have, that ship might have sailed.
Yeah, I think that part of this game is done, but there's still opportunities for him to fight on upcoming Dragon, for example, or get ahead by pushing through the mid lane with some assistance from Gideon. Spacing great there from Roamer as we are having that fight I was talking about.
Yeah, Grim Deliverance just going to be thrown down here as Clear taking a bit of damage, but is otherwise looking kind of all right. There is some plate money going over to casting once again, using his discount that he picked up with all of those plates that he purchased in the last game.
Feel like we've had really the moment of the 1cc into the next CC into the next CC here for BNK. It's been like the 2 kills they have are from that catch onto Teddy and Namgung in the bottom lane where they're both low from VicLa. We haven't seen the team fight fully online just yet, but we're going to maybe get a glimpse of it on this Dragon. Gideon is topside.
Yeah, Gideon just going to walk on over here as the public execution does come on down. There's a flash in from casting, though, to lock down the kill. And he will not be taken out by the tower. Now, is the cross map going to be there? That's the question. Looks like the vision setup here from Namgung is going to be good enough.
Teddy has barrier, and they have the ult. It's so tricky to actually try to commit to this. I think they're instead just going to look for the jungle. Could have looked for Dragon, but now maybe that ship has sailed as Roamer's a little vulnerable.
Yeah, bounces out of the way of Raptor as he does get the jump scare. Let's see whether he can get into the between worlds, and he does, but the arrow is going to connect from downtown. Beautiful aim from Taeun. That is going to help Raptor lock down the kill.
And that was the kind of CC into CC I was talking about finally in play here. That should be the Dragon. They did not get the Dragon initially when they were trying to posture around the turret, but now with this kill, it is going to be over for free. BNK striking back again here, and will even up the game, and Gold will even up the Dragons. As these ex-KT Challengers players, man, on Zaahen, it's crazy. Both perfect and now casting. I mean, some of the best performances we have seen on this pick. Had a lead, but the confidence in which he displayed those mechanics was crazy. As Raptor does not have flash, does not actually land the charge Q, so it looks for a moment like, oh, maybe Roamer's going to get out here, but then one CC lands, the charm hits, and then he's able to predict the angle at which he will leave the ultimate there between worlds, and Taeun locks him down a third time. And the third time is the charm, as they are going to get this top turret, which will be the first of the game.
Yeah, and then Clear is just not allowed to enter his lane because the entire top side was just taken by Gideon there as well. All of these minions will die. Raptor walks over a control ward, so Gideon gets full information there as well. And the Bros move back to a 1,000 gold lead.
The Brack row.
Yeah, the Brack row is working, and they are focusing on this top side. Taeun is still very, very strong in this game, as the culling will get soaked by this Ashe. Takes the last few shots there as well, problematically.
Yeah, that was not, I think, what he wanted, as Teddy just continues to fire there, and he takes a huge brunt of damage. The top turret is down, right? They denied that farm you were talking about from Clear. It just feels like Bro have decided, all right, we were going to play through the Lucian lane. It's not working out. We're playing through top lane now, and it's 2,000 gold, and Gideon is just coming up here on repeat, making big plays in both the top and mid lane.
Like, what if the Bros are like the first team that realizes how to win through top lane?
Yeah, that could be the thing.
The Brack row, man. It is next level. We don't understand it yet. We haven't managed to study it enough to get onto the level of understanding the Bros have.
You know, there was that that opening, I want to say it was 2022, where the Bro players, it's Umpty and somebody else has chess pieces, you know? I don't know if you remember this. And I think Umpty like moves the chess piece forward, and they're like, yes, this is the play. Because Bro was known to be a slow and methodical team, right? Like, I think that was good, you know, kind of symbolism in that opening back then. Now they've kind of been a little bit more known for aggression early, but still, strategic team. Like, I think the way that we've seen Gideon play these early games has been really well thought out and pre-planned, and it's just working incredibly well for them. You know, he's the one who's been able to generate a majority of this lead here. Obviously, it's on to casting, but he's playing really well. And the Lucian, like, kind of they abandoned it, and they're like, it's okay, Teddy's the Fountain Laser, he'll be fine later, probably. Yeah. That's the choice they've made, and they've kept this game incredibly even though it looked initially like after VicLa got those 2 kills that maybe this mid game was just going to be unplayable.
Do you know what? The one person whose stocks are through the roof right now, Coach Song.
Yeah.
Won Worlds with a 6th place LCK team, and we were like, that was a fluke. If he manages to also turn the Bros, I'm not even saying win Worlds, if he turns them into a Legend Group team here in the LCK,
not mathematically eliminated.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Coach Song may just be the best coach in the history of League of Legends and perhaps the world. And maybe those aliens will be talking about Coach Song when they finally get the information back home. As Taeun will take a bit of damage here. The Encore is going to connect onto Teddy, but he's got Namgung there. He is going to be absolutely fine. Range extension really being a little bit of a problem here, as Ashe does like to try and outrange the Lucian. A little bit more difficult when he's just consistently getting warm hugs, feeling better.
Oh, Teddy?
Yeah, just walking around the side, looking to try and execute Kellin. There's the cease and desist onto the Lucian, though. They've already taken down the Aurora, but Teddy is trying his best to get these kills, and he just will not find them. 3 dead, and BNK FEARX are just going to ace the Bros. Well, not ace them because the Zaahen was just not there at all.
Well, right before Teddy went forward, I was like, look at casting because he was between the turrets where that ward is in the bottom lane, just hard farming and denying clear as much as he can. But he did not opt to TP into the fight, and I think that was one of the big difference makers. But the Seraphine healing and shielding in that fight was also what was Teddy's undoing.
Yeah, the setup from the bros just wasn't really all that good. So we were kind of like singing their praises, and maybe it was my fault. Maybe it was Cast a Curse.
You know when you have a game that has like the tutorial, but then there's like challenge stages where you can like learn how to play a game? This is one where it's like, Teddy, can you kill Kellin here? He's like, well, let me see. I think I have this angle. He's like, well, that was the objective, is to kill Kellin. Like, who cares about the Vi? And then he actually still almost kills Raptor, who narrowly escapes. He gets the heal there. I mean, Teddy, he saw an angle, but unfortunately it might have been a bit too, his eyes too big for his stomach there. Might have been a bit too aggressive, and he put his team in harm's way, and the Bro-Leavers have vacated the building.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they're gone.
Yeah, there is an empty space. It's an empty space in my heart. That's all right. Teleport to bring the Zaahen back in. Casting's like, guys, don't worry. If I'm there, we're going to win. And you know what? Maybe they can, because he is pretty strong at the moment. Beat Drop is going to miss, and Taeyoon is down very, very low to start this fight off. Teddy still at full health.
They have Dragon Prio here, I mean, massively.
Yeah, VicLa dash cannoning forward. Teddy just dashes out of the way of the charm.
And now I just don't think they can really get in here. Arrow?
Yeah, it is going to connect, but GIDEON not too worried about that one. Raptor not going to be able to get in, so that will be the Mountain Drake going over to the Trundle. The Aurora will get tagged by that Encore as Taeyoon also taking some damage back. VicLa now dancing around the fight with his ulti, but the bros do not want to give him any sort of reset opportunity. But there's the charm, cease and desist, and down goes the Aurora once again. Can Raptor get out? That's the question, but Teddy gets tagged by the public execution. The Grim Deliverance, though, should be able to take down the Vi. Can Casting keep himself alive, though? He does have the passive stacked up nicely as GIDEON getting on in there, but can Casting get out? That's the question. The charm is mistimed, and Casting should be able to blast cone his way to safety alongside the Trundle.
Out of control this game on the Zaahen. This is still, no question, a massive win for BNK, but it could have been so much more, as he is at least salvaging the lost fight there. And initially here, okay, got Dragon, but for some reason still forced. Romer, we've been talking about his little tanky Aurora build a little bit, and he was survived the initial salvo, but this was a bridge too far.
Yeah. Wandering up to a warded wall was not exactly what he was looking for.
You're like, he's fine, I guess. And then he's like, oh, watch this. and then Teddy also doubles down on trying to get the pick, and it does not work out. Both of them are killed. And then this charm missing is actually one of the biggest parts of this. It allows Casting to get away post-stasis there on his revive. The gold lead is very large for BNK, and it is on the mid laner, who is the main source of setup for a lot of these fights, and on the Ashe, who's the main source of consistent damage. So very problematic for the bros here. I mean, yes, Casting is huge in this game. Still has his 2,000 gold lead, which is 2/3 of the total gold lead that BNK holds right now. But I think that the concern I have is this Zaahen will just get CC'd and killed if he's trying to be the main character. But I do think that the order of the team fights have been a little bit wrong. Like, maybe let Casting go first, and then Romer and Teddy can follow up instead of Romer and Teddy go first, and then Casting's like, I guess I'll clean up.
Yeah, I think someone needs to tank all of that CC. Mainly from Raptor. Right now it's been Romer that's been elected to die over and over again in these team fights, but Teddy has not been able to capitalize on the attention that they're giving the Aurora, and has also ceased to exist in a lot of these fights as well. Bros need to solve this problem. There's now GIDEON. Oh, Arrow is going to go wide. There is the culling just to dissuade them from going any further forward. Romer now over the wall once again as he bounces off to the side. That is going to be a dead Trundle, although he will be able to survive with the help of the Milio. And now Raptor into the backline is in a lot of trouble. Just gets sniped. Romer is also dead and went for a bit of an expedition towards the top side.
It's a Raptor for Romer trade in this situation. Romer not having a great time on this Aurora, but it is reminiscent of his last one where he did a lot with very little. It was in the Mad movie this week, I believe, as well, from last week on said Aurora. But this fight, it's all a skirmish around this blue buff, and this is exactly what you need to be doing if you are BNK, is just get in there and force them to fight you because you have the CC, you have the lead, and you want to make sure you can further accelerate this Ashe in these scrappy fights. It ends up being a trade, though, as Roamer's trying to keep everybody at bay. He does die for this, but because of his sacrifice, they are able to walk away with only losing Roamer there on the top side and get the kill there onto Raptor. Could have been way worse. I think Bro stabilized quite well through there. But at the end of the day, the end result is we're still 3,000 gold behind here for Bro, and they need to win more decisive fights. Otherwise, BNK are going to start taking these critical objectives. Baron is up. You know, they're looking for the second dragon as well.
Yeah, thankfully for the Bros, they were able to take that first Mountain Drake, and that means that we are a long way away from a potential Soul. And VicLa has completed Magi's, by the way. He is feeling himself here in this game. He's like, I'm not first-timing a Nivea anymore. I am playing the Ahri. I know how this one works, and we are going to win. And so far, that is proving to be relatively true. Raptor also with 2 items now complete. Gideon still looking for his second. And casting is gigantic. Absolutely. Has the Stridebreaker Trinity Force already done. But how much can he carry in these upcoming team fights? That's going to be the big question for us. Deadman's Plate now being completed here for Gideon.
And I mean, it's right now for BNK, the only test, and this is somewhat similar to the situation with D+ earlier today, is they have this lead, they have the tempo. Can they force fights on their terms with the vision control that they have? Baron is one of their best tools, but Dragon is the one that's more relevant right now because it's a bit early for them to do Baron at this point. Ashe only at 2.5 items. Use these objectives is what they need to do to force Bro to come to them so they can find those picks, line that CC up. As VicLa's a little bit late to the party here on this one, but will eventually get there.
Yeah. Dragon is live now as VicLa looks to move in. I think so much of this hinges on Namgung and how well he's able to utilize his ulti. Is now Teddy going aggressive once again. Taehoon! Is he just executed? He is! Teddy locks down the kill onto the Ashe. And now it's VicLa, basically the last one alive, who has the ability to take down these carries. Doesn't quite find Teddy there. As 4 versus 5, it looks like BNK still wanting to fight for this one, as casting maybe isn't the target that's all that easy to take down.
Yeah, he's a great flank blocker there, basically. He's just like, you guys can't get in. I'm not going to let you collapse onto this team. Denies their entry. Too difficult to kill, too fed. And now they're just rushing down this dragon with Teddy's damage, and that will be enough. Good play from Bro here. And the punish onto Taehoon was real.
Beautifully done. And so, BNK don't lose anymore, right? But they do lose Soul Point over to the Bros.
VicLa kind of shows his hand early here in this fight, and it doesn't have his abilities. There's no peel here. Kellin's ult does nothing. And unfortunately, I think that's what Taehoon was relying on, was, okay, Kellin can get me out of this situation no matter what happens. But the burst damage was too quick, and he just died before anything could really be done about it.
Yeah, now Teddy he's got all the makings of his Infinity Edge.
He's so close. But the fact that he doesn't have it isn't relevant really right now because BNK can't necessarily start this Baron, and they already got the Dragon, and they're on Soul Point. This Zaahen is already so huge. Imagine Mountain Soul in his hands.
And even Gideon is just going to be so difficult to take down. Obviously, Taehoon will be completing his Mortal Reminder relatively soon, so they do have some ability to cut down the healing. But still, it's going to be a pretty rough time into this subjugating, incredibly tanky Trundle that will just kind of eat people if he's left alone.
Something we've learned today in both of our series where we've seen games like this with BNK where they are ahead, as I'm going to hold my thoughts. I thought we had someone hiding in that brush. The inability to start Baron or confidently make a play through their vision control is what can be the difference between like T1 and BNK, right? T1 starts the Baron, right, pulls off of it, they react quickly, but BNK are kind of pushing that top outer, which is step one before you want to start the Baron safely, but they're now just going to go fishing again, and this is so transparent to Bro. Now they're like, okay, we can just slow play this and group up, and now you don't actually have a numbers advantage.
Yeah, vision does go down here as they look to pillar VicLa. They see the money, and they want to take it for themselves. Hard to lock down the Ahri, but now she's ulted, and once that wears off, the Bros can start a fight. Now the culling comes through. Teddy actually not wasting any time as Raptor, he goes in, public execution into the backline. Teddy, it's gonna survive though, and now Clear trying to escape the battle. VicLa with no ulti though is nowhere near as mobile as he was in the past. As the beat drop, not enough to take down Roma, and all of the Bros stay alive.
Yeah, and with no jungler here, you can't do Baron. And this is I feel a self-inflicted attack here by BNK. Like, they went in for this play, and they were so close to making it work, but they didn't get to fight on their terms the way they wanted to. Clear is far away initially here when Gideon sets this up, and then they have to go. They have to go on to Teddy. Clear is waiting for this moment. And watch what happens with Teddy here. Namgung is at the ready. He drops his ult first, and then it's like, okay, Clear's coming around. Here comes the CC. Namgung cleanses it here for Teddy pretty quickly. After the cleanse comes out, Teddy flashes back, it kites back, and then Clear is just burst down. The Vi is deleted. And it's like, well, that's it. Like you said, the Ahri ult is gone. And Teddy just gets the opportunity to turn and engage onto him into a big burst turn opportunity for the bros.
And now I think that the rest of this, for the next few minutes, is going to become very difficult for BNK to play. Because the bros, I think Mountain Soul is extraordinarily powerful with how single target burst pick focus this composition
Absolutely.
out of BNK is. And so BNK need to deny the Drake, but the bros do not care at all whether BNK gets one Mountain Drake. So the Baron then on the table for them. The way this is played is going to be paramount here to whether we can get 3 games out of this series.
In bros comp, I think is always best fighting from a defender angle. So if you try to push into them, they're always going to have a better edge. They've got the Milio comp. You need to force them to attack you, and that's what this Baron is going to do. Now Bro have to be on the offensive for the first time, and it's going to be very, very difficult to get in. Gideon trying to close that gap.
Yeah, he's just wandering over right now, down to 6K, as the Bro's kind of milling about. Here's the teleport in from casting. Okay, Raptor does go for the engage, but the culling is just going to murder him. Public execution goes wide, but Teddy still in trouble as he gets charmed up. They manage to take him down, but casting already picks up a double, as now Roma is doing the damage. Tayan trying to get out, but Gideon is just eating him. He just hits him with his truncheon, takes down the Ashe, and now Clear versus Gideon and casting. That is not going to work. He might be able to take Roma with him, but that doesn't even happen. And now Gideon casting, they'll easy be able to take down this Baron.
The turn, the timing of it was so rough. Raptor had taken so much damage before he went in that Teddy just kills him in ult. That almost never happens. And then Clear, you could feel the lag of that new ult coming through on the Ambessa and then falling once. So Raptor flashes through, he's dead before he gets there.
Back.
And look at this.
Yeah.
It takes so long to channel that Teddy actually doesn't get hit by it. He ultimately still dies, but now Clear's on the wrong side of the fight, has to flash
And it demanded
away.
the flash charm from VicLa, and then VicLa is right in front of a Zaahen who just murders him.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The defensive capabilities of this Bro comp are so insane that you need to have everything linked up, or you're just not going to be able to kill them fast enough. You're not going to be able to kill them the way you want. Teddy's going to trade one for his life while offering extra damage there. It's crazy. That was a gold lead for Bro.
Yeah, 100. It's not really much, but they have just been so much more confident in these team fights. Gideon coming on over. If they get a Mountain Soul, man, this game is going to feel so difficult for BNK to play. Right now, Teddy, though, is just going to push through, probably grab this turret, as VicLa in a bit of trouble here. Lands the charm onto Roma, though. Still taking the worst end of that stick, with Namgung there to try and defend his mid laner. VicLa in a bit of trouble. Let's see who is going to be able to pick up this dragon as the culling comes down, just trying to soften them up before this fight has even started. Between the Worlds comes through as VicLa dashing on forward. He's so incredibly low, as now casting, dashing to the back of the fight. He's got the passive built up now as Teddy takes down Raptor. Clear battling, wants to take out at least a Milio for his trouble, but not even that's going to happen. VicLa's dead. Kellin once again, the last man standing in. It's almost a clean ace for the bros.
Yeah, and Kellin is just in no man's land here. It looks like you might be able to get out, but ultimately this is a back-breaking play. It was step-by-step Bros defensive setups and team fights, got them inch by inch closer to the gold lead of BNK. Now they take a 4,000 gold lead. They're breaking open the base here. 5,000 gold on the Red Bull Baron power play. I think Bro have done it.
Look at the kill score and tell me what Gideon's KDA is this game. My God, I've never seen a Trundle this insane. Active. He is all over the place.
100 KP. All right, so VicLa's incredibly chunked, so he can't do anything. Look at the split here between this ult from Raptor onto Teddy and the rest of the team being gated by casting. Raptor just tries to 1v1 a fed Lucian and finds out the hard way that that's not going to work, but the team just cannot link together. And Bro have just denied every single aggressive mid to late game team fight here for the BNK. They've tried to find the angles, they've tried to find the dive. And I said the comp is easy to play. I think that's true, It's just that Bro have outplayed it at every turn, and this Milio pick is really doing quite well, but Teddy's positioning, his reactions to these engages.
I swear, GIDEON is just improving at a speed that I was not expecting this season. This guy on the Trundle making stuff happen, but also I feel like Lucian Milio has been utilized incredibly effectively. Like you're saying, you look at the score lines of this bottom lane, it's not all that impressive, but as we get to the later stages, the Milio's value is just extraordinary into what BNK want to do.
Yeah, and when they lose map control, it becomes difficult to fish for those charms slash, Vi ults, charged Qs, the Ambessa public executions to link that CC together. All you really have for safe engage is the arrow, but you don't know where to aim it.
Well, they're going to aim it at Roma. And Roma is going to leave.
They knew where he was to aim it, but it didn't. He just reacted very quickly.
Yeah.
So now Bro are one dragon away from that Mountain Soul you talked about. That's super problematic if they get their hands on. They have the mid inhibitor, so Prio is always there. It's very difficult for BNK, especially with this composition, to quickly and safely clear waves to get to a position to threaten. Like, look at where Raptor is right now. If he can find some window where he can get between minion waves and get to the backline flank, maybe there's an angle, but
by the way,
so hard.
If casting ever gets on top of anyone, they are not going anywhere. He's got Randuin's Stride Breaker.
And he's like, you're slow, very
You are slow all the time. As VicLa takes half of his health bar, we'll get a bit of it back with the help of Kellin, as they just put a kennel up underneath that turret.
It's blinking at them.
It is.
Or else.
There might be a doggo in there. Be careful. It's all right. VicLa standing pretty far up as Teddy just throws out the culling and doesn't get hit by anything. It's kind of insane.
Just sieging the
comes
turret.
on through, and they are just sieging with a low-range AD carry. It is somewhat difficult to do, as now GIDEON throws down another kennel, and that is just going to be used for disengage.
The Seraphine's going to heal up a lot of that poke that we just saw attempted as the arrow.
It'll connect, as there is the Encore as well. They want to protect their Milio, but they're not going to be able to do so, as Namgung does go down. Now the Pros trying to keep Teddy alive. Dashes out of the way, goes down to his GA. And now you've got casting. Grim Deliverance is going to come through, and down will go the Vibe. And Teddy's dead as well. Can casting do it? That is the question, as Roma gets over the wall, and there's a flash under Taeun to lock that one down. And now it's just VicLa to try and kill casting here. And honestly, I don't think this raid boss is going to be taken out by this Ahri, unfortunately. He is just too gigantic in this game.
The late game Zaahen started early this game with the early jungle attention from GIDEON, and he got the money, and he is utilizing it, I think, better than maybe we've seen anyone on a Zaahen so far since release. 5,000 gold the lead here, and it's basically all his.
Oh my god, these turrets do not last at all. As down will go clear, and down will go the Nexus turrets. Roma and casting the only ones in the picture, but honestly, they had a pretty fantastic game. Roma mainly soaking a lot of the attention, as casting will have that last auto attack, and down it will go. Bro, another 2-0, back to back to back.
Bro, so close to beating T1. Did not win either of those games, but they, I think, walked away from that series at the T1 home ground with a lot of lessons learned.